you are now chopping it up
With SchMood. With SchMood.
And welcome back. It is your host. My name is Josh Moody, and you are now chopping it up with SchMood. It is the handsome one, the dancing one, the prancing one, the shancing one. You gotta say it twice. It's always better when you say it twice. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get my shout outs out the way. Once again, it feels great to be back. I really got a goodie for you guys today, but let me get my shout outs out the way first. First and foremost, shout out to the bro EO. You already know what it is, bro. Shout out to the team. You already know what it is. Rodney Chance, Sweet Thing, Shelly Shells, on TP. You already know. Love y'all. You already know what time it is. Nonetheless, I think I got all my shout out to my friends, the fam, the loved ones, the schgang. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to Shoe 50. Shoe, can't wait, bro. I got a great one for you guys today, and actually that kind of leads me into what I'm about to talk about to you today. This is part one. This is GM talk. We talking general manager. We are talking about building your franchises, guys. I'm about to drop some real knowledge for you guys, for my sports players and NBA players and NBA fans, NFL fans, sports fans, period. If you played the game of basketball and football, and I'll try to do my best to relate to other topics as well, other sports as well. But if you guys know any knowledge of the game and know any mindset or any I'm talking about characteristics of these types of players and teams and stuff that I'm going to drop, I promise I'll explain it now and I'll make sense of it. I promise you. But guys, try to think literally sometimes. I'm gonna let you know when I mean literally, down to like mindset, style of play, characteristics, tendencies, play styles, all types of stuff, guys. I promise you, this is a goodie. So, like I said, we're talking GM talk. We're talking about general manager. We're talking about building your franchise, your loved one, your family, your foundation. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? We are going to sit here and we're going to relate. Okay, how? And this is crazy how that's the beautiful thing about sports, about how much it relates to so many aspects of life. And I promise you, this is no different. Guys, we're gonna, like I said, as I mentioned, we're gonna talk about building relationships, finding that right one. Okay, and even if you're not ready even to build your foundation or build your organization up to win championships with one franchise player or in a relationship, there's other play styles, okay, in which you can achieve. Okay, the end goal, which is what? To win a championship, right? To bring championships home to your organization so you can be a great general manager, right? You want to win games. You're there to win games, win championships. That's why you're there. That's why they hired you as a GM. Okay, we're just going to relate that to real life. That's all we're going to do. That's all we're going to do. It's going to relate to real life. We're going to feel good. You guys are going to understand what I'm talking about. You're going to see, like, actually, this man's actually spitting actual factuals, and that's a big Fendi. But nonetheless, we're going to get right into it, guys. So look, I gotta start from the beginning because this is going to be part one. Okay, part two is going to be featured with Shoe 50. I'm doing it this way because Shoe is very knowledgeable. He's a very knowledgeable GM as well. Okay, he's actually won a couple of championships so far. He's doing well, but he's not just striving for a couple of championships. He actually wants about 6 of them things, 6, 7, 10 of them things. You know what I'm saying, guys? I'm just telling you right now. But nonetheless, part two will be with Shoe 50. Can't wait for that, bro. I promise you, that's gonna be a goodie, my man. Like I said, he has great knowledge on building franchises and finding your select players, play styles, strategies and all that stuff, philosophies. But I'm gonna go to the beginning, right? Part one, we going right now. Part one with SchMood, chopping it up with SchMood. Okay, so. The first thing first, as a successful general manager, right? Every general manager has principles, right? Has a foundation, meaning there's a philosophy that they believe in. For the NBA, that could be shooting a lot of threes. Okay, that could mean I just want layups in threes. Okay, that could just mean I need pace. I need a whole lot of speed and pace. Okay, I need a whole lot of shooting. I need to be able to spread the court. I want length. I want guys that could be able to switch off, play positionless basketball, okay? I want guys that could come off the bench if I need them to. I want guys that I can be able to rotate around. I want guys who are not egotistical, okay? I want a guy who's gonna willing to do whatever it takes for the team to win. Tim Duncan, you can want a Tim Duncan. And guys, the point is that you have to find your pillars, find your core principles, find what matters, what means to you the most. Last week I talked about the 80-20 rule, right? You get 4 out of the 5 things that you need the absolute most. right? That's the one thing we need the absolute most, right? So this is no different, guys. This is no different. Find your philosophy. Find out who it is that you want to be as an organization, okay? Because once you find those principles, that sets the tone for the rest of the organization. That sets the tone for your staff. That sets the tone for your players. That sets the tones for your coach. Okay, that's very important. That goes with the rules and the regulations, right? The things that you refuse to go back on, right? The things that are non-negotiable with you in a relationship or with you dealing with somebody else, right? We all have these things, okay, that no matter what, if they do it, you're not jacking it. I'm not fit. We all have that foot down moments, whatever that may be. You instill that has to be a part of your philosophy. That has to be a part of who you are. Guys, are you staying with me here? Are you seeing the correlation here? Okay. Great GMs, okay, first and foremost, right, knows the type of coach that they need, okay? Now, in the sense of a relationship, you guys play the GM, you play the coach, right? Okay, and you're also low key a player in the locker room as well, and I'm explaining to you why. Like from the GM perspective, you got to find the coach, right? And NBA teams, GMs, sometimes you do have some GMs who do both. Player coach, is a coach and a GM, they can handle that or has a big say in that. That's not. That philosophy works well for me. However, like I said, but in the NBA and the NFL, so, in the NFL, sometimes it happens. So you have a coach who's just done so well, and who's on the Bill Belichick, I believe, is the GM, and he is also the head coach of the New England Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Robert Kraft has a big say in that as well. But the point I'm saying is like whatever your philosophy, once again, that goes back to point one of knowing your philosophy, know who you are, know what works for you. Okay? Nonetheless, the point of the great GM, you have to find a great head coach. Okay? For those of you who are the head coach like me, who are the GM and the head coach, nonetheless. But you find a great head coach that fits your philosophy, who agrees, right, with your principles, right, can put their own mindsets, their own little tweaks in there if need be to make the team be successful, pull the right plugs. But nonetheless, you need a great coach who believes in your principles, believes in what you're doing, your philosophy, and the direction you're going. You know what I'm saying? You're the leader. You're the one who's leading this organization down this championship path, right? It's all on you. So nonetheless, that coach has to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in that coach. Okay, you have to believe in that coach. You have to be able to say, like, I can trust that coach. I know what he's doing. I gave him the keys to be successful in this system and what I want and the type of product I want on the court. This is very important, guys. Because like I said, this is the person that's going to be managing your team, managing the relationships, managing the emotions of an up and down roller coaster season. Are you hearing me? AKA life. Are you feeling what I'm going with this, guys? Okay? And if you are the coach, it's up to you, like me, right, to constantly navigate those ferocious waters. Okay, those things can get very tricky when you're out there all on that boat and you're sailing all by yourself and you're the captain of the ship. Hey, there's a lot riding on your decisions here. Okay, nonetheless, when you're the captain of the ship, you have to put that cap on. You know what I mean? Point to where you're going and know where you're going, and you gotta go. And you gotta get there. And you gotta get there fast. You gotta get there safe. You gotta get there healthy. Okay, in a good mindset, in a good home. You want that locker room gelling well, kind of like home. That's the home base, right? You come home, the guys are smiling, the music is playing. You know what I mean? Dudes is comfortable. You laughing, you geeking, you rapping, you dancing, you singing, right? You know how it is. Play for my players who know what that locker room like. That ain't nothing like walking into the locker room when it's roaring, when it's lit. Everybody hyped, about to go out to practice and all that cool stuff. Whatever the case may be. If you've been in the locker room, you already know what it is. How that environment can be, right? So you need that happy home. You need that environment. You need that locker room. You need your home to be stable. You need your home to be in unity. You need your home to be in unison as one, right? When you go out on that field, you got to produce a product and you got to play as one. All those moving parts, moving all together equals one victory. Correct, right? So boom. So secondly is also surrounding your staff, right? Surrounding yourself with a great staff, coaching staff, personnel, trainers, okay, health. Like I said, I mentioned all those things, health, trainer, psychologist, if you may need one for the crazy sports athletes who really, who go crazy. I don't know. I don't necessarily need that. I feel like I handle that as well. I handle a lot of the parts of my organization. But nonetheless, I'm saying that to say, and when I mean that to say, that means your friends, right? If we're relating this to real life and not sports right now, when I mean by the staff, the trainers, assistants, all that stuff, that means your friends, okay? Understand that the people that you're dealing with, your relationships, especially the ones that are in relationships, and even those of you who are not in relationships, you guys are wilding, you're thotting, you have multiple Johns or multiple dudes at this very time that you guys are dealing with, whatever the case may be, you still have to surround yourself, right, with people who represent you, Okay, and that's very important in a relationship like mine. My lady knows all of my friends. Okay, she knows my friends are good dudes. Okay, she also knows where we came from. She knows, she knows the past will come from, what we've done and all that types of stuff. But nonetheless, she knows for the most part, my guys are stand up type of dudes. These are guys I can trust them around. Okay, these are guys I'm comfortable with him going away on a trip with by himself. I actually know these people. I've been around them. I've engaged in them. And this is the thing. You are the company you keep. And it's the same thing, okay? As a GM, you have to put people in the right positions to be successful. That is your job. That is your job, right? You put the coach there to be successful, but your coach can't be successful if he doesn't have the right players, right? The trainers can't train nobody if, you know what I mean? And honestly, the trainer's job is to keep the athletes on the court. Okay, when you get bad athletes who don't take care of themselves, who don't take the game serious, who don't recover right, don't recover fast enough, right? More injuries tend to happen, which means they are not on the court, which means you're not getting the product, and they're not producing, and their value automatically goes down. Guys, are you staying with me? Do you see how it relates? Just like in life. It's just like in life when you're not performing, right? When you're with somebody who's not doing what they're supposed to do, they're not taking care of themselves, they're not taking care of the home, they're not taking care of their part of their deal, the part of the whatever that deal may be for you guys, right? That deal I don't know what that deal may be, but whatever that is for you guys, if that person is not handling their part, doing their due, okay, what happens? You're ready to dub ski to their asses. I'm going to hoffer at you. You know what I'm saying? Or giving them the termination papers. Sorry, you have to clean out your locker room by 12 p.m. Handing your playbook, handing all that stuff, handing your loop. Guys, if my athletes, you know about the loop. Handing your loop, handing your helmet, handing your basketball shoes, handing all team gear. And I'm going to hoffer at you. Thank you for your services. Maybe sometime in the future we'll pick you up and we'll use you. Keep working. I do think you could play in this league, right? For my people who let all people go, right? That's how it go in the A and in the league, right? They love you. They love you till they don't need you no more, right? So nonetheless, that may happen. So unlike in sports, okay, you can win with one franchise player. And actually in today's sports, everything is about building a great team, having more than one piece to be it's more having about more than one piece to winning franchises these days. The Golden State Warriors is the perfect example. Have multiple franchise players, which could be a problem, depending on how you look at it, and I'm explaining you why. And honestly, like I said, my philosophy is I'm a one franchise player type of person. Okay? And I say that to say, and in college, right, guys, we used names. It was just something we did. Ladies, I'm sorry. This is not really a woman conversation. But like I said, if you know sports and you know these and you know what I'm talking about, you will understand me. Nonetheless, if you have any feedback, any questions, let me know. I will gladly answer them. But nonetheless, in college, we used NBA names or like special athlete names to determine our either significant other or somebody we was talking to at the time or somebody who had potential to be wifey or potential to be the girlfriend or somebody who was starting. Okay, we had a name for everything. Okay, I'm gonna give you my first example of me. Okay, and in college is where me and Sweet Thing met. Okay, so there was a point in time frame where we talked for a good 6 to 7 months. Okay, where we was not together, but we was dating. You know what I'm saying? It was publicly known that was, you know what I'm saying? As at that point in time, she was considered my point guard. Okay, in today's current NBA, you need a great point guard to be successful. That's just or honestly, today is positionless basketball, but at the time, she was a point guard for me. She was my point guard. We called her D Rose. Okay, and this was young prime D Rose. This was the years of MVP D Rose. Okay, so it was a great reason for her being called young D Rose. Okay, and she hated it, guys. And I'm telling you all the time, she would come back to the dorm room, like, yo, babe, why is this one calling me D Rose? I'm talking about people. She walking on the campus. Yo, what's up, D Rose? Her name is Mariah. Okay, but they was calling her D Rose. Why? Because she was my young point guard. She was athletic, humble. You know what I'm saying? To herself. You know what I mean? Had that yakker thingy. You know what I'm trying to say? That yakker. You feel me? Or she had all the athletic tools, the physical tools. You feel where I'm going with this? If you guys know young D Rose, you feel me? Athletic, bouncy. You know what I mean? He's light skinned. You see where I'm going with this? He's light skinned. She was light skinned. Okay? Young, fresh on campus, making an impact. She was turning up for roadie track at the time. You see where I'm going with this? D Rose came in the league. He had a very great impact from the moment he stepped into the league. The youngest player to ever win MVP at the time, my man D Rose. Nonetheless, you see the correlation here, and she hated it, but that was my point guard. She was my franchise. She was clearly that caliber type of player. Now, mind me, guys, I know D Rose had a long sustaining injury, right? But at the time, he was in his prime. So at the time, it was very, 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 very fitting, okay? Excuse me. So what I'm trying to say is that she was the young franchise for me, okay? I clearly see she had all the tools to be extremely, extremely successful in Josh's system, okay? Josh's system, he wanted, due to his previous past, okay, where he had I'm going to switch over to football here. When he had, to him, he felt like he had a young Johnny Manziel, okay? Johnny Manziel, clearly super talented type of guy, ran all over the place, made some things happen, had some magic to him, but ultimately he couldn't sustain the success due to the off the field issues, okay? Now, being the GM that I am, and after dealing with that, I didn't want that type of player anymore. So to me, it came down to I want more character. It was a character check for me that these things had to be checked off for me. Whereas would have led me to D Rose. You see where I'm going to this now? I'm switching back over now, but I'm talking about literally the mental state and the type of persons these athletes were. Johnny Manziel was the wild bull, into partying, into doing into things, got into trouble, did all these types. You feel I'm going to these different types of off the field issue things that actually questioned his character and things like that. I dealt with that in my females in the past. I'm cool. That's not the style of woman I want. You know what I mean? Like I said, has some great talent, could do some great things, has the ability to play in this league. Absolutely. However, that is not the way I'm looking for. I'm looking to go in a new direction. Here comes D Rose, okay? Young, humble, hard worker. Mind to the ground type of thing, 10 toes down type of thing, humble, ride or die. You feel me? And that was why she was young D Rose. She was the young point guard. I gave her no. She left me no choice to give her the keys to my franchise. That is still my franchise player. I'm talking about young prime D Rose. She will blossom into something else once I find out, that next player who I think she relates to. But nonetheless, you guys see where I'm going with this. I have another friend, right? Once again, I believe that is one franchise player. This is how I'm winning my championships at this very time. I have a friend, right, who believes in a different philosophy, okay? And I'm going to compare him to the Warriors, right? But in college, he had a LeBron, he had a KD, a Kevin Durant, guys, and he had a J.R. Smith. Here's the problem I have with it. His problem is he did not go back to break down his philosophy and his pillars. Because his thing was he wants to have as many franchise players as he possibly can and treat them all like they were franchise players. And here's the problem with that. When you have franchise player, there only could be one franchise player. Okay? Other than that, everybody else is a role player. Everybody else plays a role after that. You can't have two franchise players. Once Kevin Durant went to what you call it, okay, he's the guy. I don't care what you say. He's the best player on that team. He is the franchise. Steph Curry was the franchise, okay? None of us, that may work out different, but if you get what I'm trying to say, talent-wise, KD's the best player on the team. He's the franchise of that team. So you get where I'm going with this? So nonetheless, he had a KD, a LeBron. I don't think, even though basketball-wise, that would be a great player. I think that would work. And honestly, Kevin Durant wouldn't be a great fit for who she was because Kevin Durant went to Golden State because he didn't want to be the leader. He didn't want all the pressure on him. So this was young KD and Oklahoma City KD, guys, who wanted the ISO ball KD, okay? So young Bronny, young KD on the team, it wouldn't work. He had two franchise players thinking they were running and had the keys to the organization. And here's the worst part. Okay, and LeBron was the outspoken one, very known. People knew that was LeBron. She was called LeBron. Her name was literally LeBron. Her name was LeBron. People on campus called her LeBron because they knew that was the LeBron of my man's franchise. I'm not going to say his name. He also had a KD. At this time, this was an outspoken KD. This was a KD who shared his opinion, who didn't give a F, who didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck, who was outspoken. So this was a problem. They both had keys to the franchise, meaning keys to the room. They knew the code to the dorm room. They could get in the room. He would make spaghetti with one of them. Okay? And one night in the dome, the next night he was making spaghetti, the next night with KD. I'm telling y'all right now, Bronny and KD it was just too much. And then, guys, I mentioned J.R. Smith. Okay? J.R. Smith was his sixth man. And when I mean J.R. Smith had keys to the franchise too, first of all, here's the thing. When you have bench players who start to begin to think they are starters and franchise players, guys, you need to check your philosophy and go back and do it again. You can't have J.R. Smith thinking he's a starter and a franchise player. You're a good role player. I appreciate what you do. You have some talent. You provide scoring off the bench when my other two franchise players aren't doing what they're supposed to do. You get where I'm going with this, guys? You get where I'm going with this? But nonetheless, look, we talking GM talk. Man, I got so much to talk about. This is only part one. I'm going to get more into it. I promise you, my time's almost up. Shoe 50, shout out to you. You're coming on soon. We're going to do GM Talk Part 2. I promise you won't be the last of it. I got more information for you. You chopping it up with SchMood. It is the handsome one, the dancing one, the prancing one, the shancing one. I'm off this. I'm a hoffer at you. On yourself.
And you are now chopping it up. Chopping it up. Chopping it up with SchMood. With SchMood.